Arena in Lincroft, New Jersey for another edition of Brookdale basketball here on BTV. I'm Tim Kettle-Famla, joined alongside by my third straight season broadcast partner Brian Goudswer. We have a doubleheader this evening as the Brookdale Jersey Blues men's and women's basketball teams are squaring off against Northampton, a team on the women's side that has struggled to find some consistency this year, whereas Brookdale is undefeated. So we expect this to be what could possibly be a lopsided game, but there's still a lot of storylines on both sides of the basketball, Brian.
Yeah, and you have to start with just how well Brookdale has been playing. I mean, it's taken this long in the season for them to play their first home game, so that always adds an extra sense of energy here. You're playing your first game in front of your home fans, but you have to applaud the way they played the first 5 games of the season, all of them out on the road and all of them in the win column so far, so a great start on the Jersey Blues side.
Brookdale is 5-0. Northampton has yet to win a game this season. They are 0-5, so we'll see how things shake out as we take a look at the Northampton away roster right now on your monitor as we get ready to get things started in just a few minutes. Brookdale is getting introduced right now. We'll have the starting lineups on both sides of the basketball in just a second.
Our freshman from Staten Island, number 4, Breanna.
See the starting 5 now for the Northampton Spartans. Probably one of the star players on that starting 5 will be Ashley Robinson, who in the last game against Lucerne, which unfortunately Northampton lost, but nonetheless they played pretty well, had 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 steals for Robinson, so she'll be a player to keep an eye on this evening. And then on the other side for the Brookdale Jersey Blues, as they are now finishing up being introduced, that's actually the men's starting 5, but we'll actually give you the women's starting 5. It's Rachel Rouse, Danielle Griffith, Veronica Njai, Anna Contanzaro, and Alexis Holloway. So it'll be the 5 players that will be on the floor for Brookdale this evening to start. So Northampton is coming out in their away black uniforms with white lettering and orange trim, whereas Brookdale is in their home white uniforms with red lettering and red and blue trim. Our officials this evening, Kevin Kresak, Teresa Conyer, and Ron DePasquale. The opening tip is controlled by Northampton, and we are underway here in the Collins Arena. Getting things started now for the Spartans, Ashley Robinson. Jada Webster able to pull down the rebound and was fouled as she was trying to dribble back out to the top of the key. Foul is going to be on Veronica Njai. That'll be her first foul and the first team foul on the Jersey Blues. Intercepted here by Cam Marie Brown going the other way and laying it in for 2, and Brookdale's got their first points of the game.
And that's what we saw a lot of last season. This Brookdale team, only a couple of returnees from last year. Brown one of them and makes good on the first bucket.
A long free throw from the corner by Robinson doesn't drop. And now here comes Brookdale the other way. Now Rachel Rouse controlling it in the left arc. Veronica Njai, top of the key 3, rims out, no good. Rebound tracked down by Breanna Peterson.
You know, I don't have a problem with that shot. Njai had a lot of space. Rouse found her, just couldn't get it to drop.
Webster, now back over to Vernice Mendez. Top of the key for Kelsey Miller. That's off the mark, no good. Offensive rebound, though, here for the Spartans, taking a nice jumper and not being able to get the basket is Peterson, but another offensive rebound there for Northampton. Brookdale leads 2-0, a minute gone by here in the first quarter. Feed is tipped away out of bounds. It'll go back actually to Brookdale, actually. They'll say Northampton's touched it last. And Coach Brunson will take a quick 30-second timeout with a minute 15 seconds left here into the first quarter, I should say. Coach Brunson in his 3rd season as head coach. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, team is 5-0 this season. They took down Bergen Community College 78-46 on Tuesday. And they're being able to get off to a very nice start, as opposed to last season, which was a little bit of a shaky start for the women, Brian.
Yeah, especially that first game. You remember they went out on the road. They faced a Division II opponent and just weren't up to task in that particular game. But when you think about the team from last year, one of the areas where they struggled was there just wasn't a lot of depth on the team. I mean, Rich Brunson was really only working with about 7 players most games. Now he's got a more full roster and really a chance to break through here in year 3.
Inside, that was Danielle Griffith driving to the hole, not able to get the layup to go, and now coming back the other way for Northampton is Kelsey Miller, throwing it away, looking for her teammate right in front of the Brookdale bench. That was Ashley Robinson.
Yeah, and that's going to be one thing I have a feeling that will be a theme here as this game goes along. Brookdale does a great job taking the basketball away, and you have a team in Northampton really struggles in the turnover department.
Everybody touching the basketball in this possession, and now it's poked away, and a foul here on Northampton. Actually, no, instead they're going to call a foul on Rachel Rouse instead for Brookdale. So that will be the second team foul on the Jersey Blues. And the first on Rachel Rouse, a player that played on the women's basketball team in 2016. She's back on the roster this season. Brookdale made a couple of substitutions on that last buzzer. We'll check them right now. Haley DeLonzo comes into the game for the first time this evening. She is a player that comes over from the women's soccer team. She was a star athlete on the St. Peter's Prep soccer team in high school. Feed inside to Danielle Griffith on the floor, jump ball. Possession arrow remains Brookdale with 20 to shoot on the shot clock. And in the last game for DeLonzo, she had 27 points, 14 rebounds against Bergen. So that was her very first game all season on a basketball roster. And she comes out and blows really the rest of the team out of the water, putting up incredible stats.
Yeah, and you like to see that from a newcomer as a Jersey Blue here, go along with the returnees. They're getting contributions from a lot of different players in the early part of this season.
Jessica Poplowski able to chip in another two, so now Brookdale leads 4-0. Tie up here right in front of the Brookdale bench. Another jump ball is called, and the possession arrow points towards Northampton.
And I think you have to like the intensity that you're seeing from Brookdale, especially on the defensive end of the floor, not allowing any easy looks, and so far no points.
Northampton has gone scoreless. They have struggled this season to put points on the board. As another tie up here, and this time we will get a foul on Brookdale. This is going to be charged to Cam-Marie Brown. That's going to be her first, now the third on Brookdale, so the foul's starting to add up quickly here in this first quarter. Another whistle. Momentary delay. Miller once again double teamed, threw it at the feet of Webster, and Webster finally able to get it away. Robinson from the corner for three. Back iron no good on the rebound, controlled by Brown.
And so far when Northampton has gotten a clean look at the basket, they just haven't been able to get it to fall.
Now inside, here's DeLonzo, back out to Rouse for three. Rims out, no good. Rebound is controlled by Brown underneath. DeLonzo again not able to get the jumper, but she got her own rebound. Shot clock resets. Rouse inside, a wild layup that rolls off the rim, no good. A put back up and in, though, by Poplowski.
And Rouse wasn't interested in resetting the offense after getting that offensive rebound as Brookdale works quickly and puts another easy basket on the board.
Another jump ball, and this time the possession arrow points to the Jersey Blues. You saw Coach Brunson there on the sidelines talking to his players. Third season as head coach of the Jersey Blues. On the other side for Northampton, Alyssa Bonham in her second season as Poplowski is fouled on her way to the bucket underneath. Second season for Bonham, former assistant to the women's basketball team from 2016 to 2017 for Northampton. Team went to the Final Four in the Region 19 tournament last year, but it has been a rough start this season. 0-5, as I mentioned, as Jessica Poplowski is at the foul line. The 6'2 freshman from Toms River hits the first of two foul shots. Foul, by the way, was on Vernice Mendez. That's her first personal for Northampton. Second attempt for Poplowski is good. So now it's an 8-0 lead for the Jersey Blues.
Yeah, and a lot of times you mentioned a good season by Northampton a year ago. A lot of times the seasons that follow are tough because you end up losing a lot of key players. You graduate some key sophomores. So you look at this Northampton squad this year, all they have is freshmen, and it's a work in progress, to say the least.
They also have two of their starters, usual starters, that are out with injuries. So that's certainly been a tough storyline that Northampton has had to face early on in this season. Picking up the loose ball is Poplawski, and now here comes Brown the other way into the hole. Has it blocked away from behind. Rouse is there, though, for the putback.
And right place at the right time there by Rouse, coming off the initial miss from Brown to put it back in. Brookdale rolling.
And another turnover. Rouse again. The layup is good. And now it's a 12-0 lead for the Jersey Blues. And now a timeout is going to be called by Northampton and Coach Bonenberger, as we have a replay here of that last basket by Rouse. A little of a technical error there. We'll get that to you in a second. We also have a new toy here at Brookdale on our television station. We have an I guess you call it the over-the-head camera from behind the backboard. We'll be testing that out this season. You've already gotten a couple of looks at it. As you see, head coach Rich Brunson now talking things over with his team. Very explosive start for the Jersey Blues.
Yeah, about as good as you could have hoped for. I mean, it's a mismatch going in when you look at the records, but, you just never know. You have to go out and play the game, and so far, Brookdale has been the aggressor. They've gotten on the loose balls last couple of possessions. They've gotten some transition opportunities and just doing everything right through the first 4 minutes and change.
So we'll see if Northampton can make any adjustments here after that timeout. They still have their original starting five on the floor. A long three from the top of the key by Miller is off the mark, and the rebound tracked down by Brown. Brown now up ahead. Nobody back on defense for Northampton, and Rouse lays it in.
And that's really two possessions in a row where not only has Brookdale gotten a transition bucket, but it's really come uncontested as Northampton has not been able to get back. And there you see our new camera angle.
Yeah, pretty nice shot. That is now the 6th straight point for Rachel Rouse. So 3 straight buckets, 6 points on the evening so far. As Northampton turned it over once again, they are now in a 2-3 zone, trying to switch things up here on this defensive possession. Delonzo lost it. It's taken away, though, by Rouse. Brookdale will try to reset with 16 on the shot clock. Here's Njai from the corner. It's way too strong. Going down to the floor and getting fouled, tracking down the rebound, was Breanna Peterson.
And it was a good effort there by Peterson amongst a few Jersey Blues to come down with it and draw the foul there from behind.
The foul is on Jessica Poplawski. That'll be her first and the 4th now on the Jersey Blues.
Number 10, Dion Griffin.
Alexis Holloway checks into the ball game for Brookdale, along with Danielle Griffith. Another steal there for the Jersey Blues. Now upcoming the other way, here comes Delonzo, taking it to the hole and laying it up and in with the right hand.
Yeah, Delonzo had Rouse with her, opted to take it herself, and that proved to be the right decision as Brookdale can do no wrong in this opening quarter.
Miller once again atop of the key is an air ball out of bounds. Have a correction to make. It's actually not Danielle Griffith on the floor. It's her sister, Dion Griffith, who's on the floor. The two Griffith sisters from Howell, New Jersey. Both getting some time as freshmen to get some minutes here for the Jersey Blues. Poplawski at the right elbow. Now hands off to Rouse. The jumper on the way for Rouse is off the mark. And who touched it last will be Blues ball with a fresh 30 underneath the basket. So it'll be Delonzo inbounding. Tipped away momentarily. It'll stay Blues ball. Northampton has yet to get a point on the board here in this first quarter. Poplawski finds a cutting Rachel Rouse, and she lays it in.
Man, you mentioned earlier, Rouse, a player that we saw as part of this program 2 years ago, had somewhat of an impact, but more in a reserve role coming off the bench. She is now one of the leaders on this team and the leading scorer.
And Rachel Rouse, just talking about her, she just picked up her second personal foul as she bumped Jada Webster right in front of Coach Brunson. And because now that is the 5th team foul in women's basketball, Northampton will be shooting free throws for the rest of the quarter.
That'll end the shutout.
Yeah. Webster completes the first foul shot from the line, the 5'4" freshman from East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. 2 for 2.
Oh, it has to feel good to just get on the board when you've been held off it for 7 and change minutes. But Northampton, obviously, a long way to go.
Alexis Holloway dribbling with the basketball. Now hands off to Griffith. Rouse tried to get back to Griffith, and it's tipped away out of bounds. It'll remain here with Brookdale now with 11 to shoot. Camry Brown
Checking in with the Blues, number 14.
will come in for Rachel Rouse,
Anna Canizaro.
along with Hannah Contanzaro will come in. Here is Canizaro inside, laying it in from the right block.
I'll talk about making an immediate impact as she comes in. The first play is ran for her on the out-of-bounds play, as you see it there on your screen.
A breakaway steal here by Camry Brown, and she lays it in at the other end. Now a 20-point lead for the Jersey Blues as they are really starting to open things up here in the opening quarter. Feed inside for Peterson, and Peterson is fouled, so she will go to the line now for 2 shots. We'll check the foul.
22, Anna Canizaro.
It's on Anna Catanzaro. And now at the line, Breanna Peterson, 5'7" freshman, also from East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, not able to hit the first of a 2-shot foul. And for Northampton, it's just been a struggle so far in this opening quarter. Brian mentioned the fact that they were all freshmen. Very young team. Brookdale's a very young team, to be fair, as well, but Brookdale has players like Rachel Rouse and Camry Brown that have played at different times of the season as Holloway turns it over there after she fell down underneath the basket.
Yeah, and that's an area I think Brookdale has improved is the transition game. There, of course, it results in a turnover, but we've seen in this opening quarter, they've had at least 2 or 3 baskets in transition.
Long 3 there from the corner by Robinson is off the mark. And now here's Holloway, one-on-one with Miller, and she lays it in.
Alexis Holloway.
24-2 now.
Speaking of fast break points.
Webster now over to Miller. Brookdale drops into a 2-3 zone here. Webster now finds Robinson, a long 3 on the way, not even hitting the rim. Miller tried to pull down the rebound, but she dribbles it off her foot. You know, Robinson, as I mentioned at the top of the game, or top of the broadcast, I should say, had 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 steals in the last game that Northampton had against Luzerne on Tuesday. They lost that game 75-43. But so far, she has been scoreless. She has not been able to get any points on the board as Deb Lonzo almost lost that one. Holloway able to track it down. Inside, Brown not able to get the tough shot to go, and Miller tracks down the rebound now for the Spartans, trying to push the ball up the floor. Another turnover there as Webster couldn't handle the pass from Miller.
And usually when you see a team struggle to this magnitude in a 22-point deficit, there's usually a lot of turnovers, and it's been a sloppy start for Northampton.
Camry Brown now dribbling on top of the Brookdale emblem. Alonzo, the feed inside to Catanzaro, and Catanzaro is fouled.
It's a nice move there in the post by Catanzaro, getting good position, taking a fadeaway jumper and getting fouled, so now a chance at the line.
So Anna Catanzaro, the 6-foot freshman from Howell, New Jersey, will go to the foul line for 2 shots. First one is on the way and good. Foul is on Ashley Robinson. That was her first personal for the Spartans. Catanzaro's second foul shot is a little short. She got her own rebound, and here Brookdale resets. Brown, top of the key, 3 is good.
And the Brookdale's 2 leading scorers on the season. We talked about Rouse, but Brown ranks number 2 in that department, and that time the long-range jumper.
Now Miller will try to answer with the top of the key three of her own. It's back rim, no good. And the rebound is tracked down by DeLonzo. Here's Holloway. It's a 2 if it goes. That's way too strong off the back rim. Camry Brown, another rebound. Now here's Holloway making some moves inside. Has her shot blocked away. Griffith, though, is there for the jumper inside the paint. As we're under a minute left to go here in the first quarter. Take a look at that last sequence. Watch Holloway here have her shot blocked. And then Griffith there for the nice 2.
And Tim, this ranks right up there with the most dominant quarters of basketball we've seen from this Jersey Blue team.
Shot clock is winding down here for Northampton. A jump ball is called. It remains here on this side of the floor with Northampton with 10 to shoot. So Northampton will inbound with 10 to shoot. Kelsey, catch and shoot 3 is no good for Kelsey Miller. And now here comes Brown the other way, one-on-one with Miller, and she's not able to get the layup to go. It rolled off the rim. Some contact down low, no call, and now Northampton gets the ball back. They can hold for the final shot in this corner as the shot clock is turned off. Tipped away there by Griffith out of bounds. It'll stay here with Northampton.
Yeah, I'm sure Brown just a little bit frustrated with herself that she couldn't convert on that layup because it was an easy basket opportunity.
Robinson will inbound. Webster now. She's got 6, now 5. Kelsey Miller, a long 3. It's front rim no good, and that will end the first quarter. Brookdale with a 30-2 lead over the Northampton Spartans. Northampton has not won a game all season. Brookdale is 5-0. We'll have the second quarter here on Brookdale TV coming up in just a few minutes. As, of course, we're trying to open up this season on a fairly strong note. Tim Califamo alongside Brian Goudsworth. We're here for our 3rd consecutive season here on Brookdale TV, and we're looking forward to what should be a very exciting game, very exciting season. The Region 19 tournament will be held here in the Collins Arena. It was not held here last year, so we're looking forward to that at the end of February, early March. But, Brian, so far, women really starting out very strong. They open up the game. They have a 30-2 lead, and this is something that we expected. We weren't really sure what we were going to see at Northampton at the beginning of this game, but it's obvious they have a lot of work to do, and Northampton really struggling mightily just on offense to get any good shots.
Yeah, on offense, especially turning the basketball over is really their undoing in that opening quarter, and Brookdale's taken full advantage. They've been the aggressors on both ends of the floor. They've gotten out in transition. They've contested shots. When Northampton has had a good look at the basket, they just haven't been going down. So you can't say enough about how dominant Brookdale played in that opening quarter.
And then, of course, you look at some of the other star players that Brookdale has. Camry Brown, Rachel Rouse, just to name a few, really contributing very nicely on the floor for the Jersey Blues. As we get ready to start the second quarter now, again, Brookdale leads 30-2. On the floor to start the second quarter will be Veronica Enjai, Rachel Rouse, Jessica Poplowski, Danielle Griffith, and Haley DeLonzo. For Northampton, Jada Webster, Breanna Peterson, Kelsey Miller, Ashley Robinson, and Vernice Mendez. As a long shot there, not able to drop for Brookdale, but the offensive rebound is tracked down by Griffith. Danielle saves it from going out of bounds back to Rachel Rouse, who squares up for a 3. That's way off the mark, and it will go out of bounds back to Northampton. Veronica Enjai came screaming in there trying to get the rebound, thought she was fouled, and it'll go back to the Spartans.
I was just going to say, Enjai looking for that basketball off the miss, just couldn't quite find it, and so Northampton gets possession.
Peterson tried to kick it out to the right arc for Robinson, and it falls out of bounds. So just nothing going right for the Spartans so far in this early portion of the second quarter. Nobody back on defense either now for the Spartans as they come away with a steal. So Northampton catches a break. There's Robinson now top of the key for Miller. Peterson at the foul line, now back out to Robinson. Peterson along 2, front rim no good. Rebound tracked down by Poplowski, and now here comes Rachel Rouse. 1-on-1 with Peterson to the hole. A tough shot doesn't go, but the rebound is tracked down by DeLonzo. Njai thought about a three. Now she drives inside, finds Rouse too far underneath the basket, and she wisely backs it out. Now Njai, a power move inside, and she lays it in with the right hand. Another timeout now is called by Northampton, as Coach Bonenberger wants to talk things over. Watch Njai with this powerful move to the bucket. She's really got a lot of nice skill. One of the more talked about players. Again, a freshman for the Jersey Blues. The 5'8" freshman from Staten Island averages just over 13 points a game. One of the star players that Coach Brunson has told me preseason, Brian, he's very excited about, was very happy that he got her as a recruit, and he's certainly looking forward to what she can do on the floor this season. Yeah,
and you're starting to see the skill set here early in this game. She's shown the ability to shoot the ball from the outside, but that time, as you mentioned, just a nice move going to the basket, and really a player who has a good all-around game that can contribute to this Jersey Blue team.
So again, Brookdale leads 32-2, 30-point lead. Had to double check myself there for a second. 8:31 left here in the second quarter. Remember, this is a double header that we have for you this evening on Brookdale Television. When the women's game is done, Brian and I will be back for the men's basketball game. Northampton 4-3 on the men's side. Brookdale 3-1. Coach Paul Chizak will be looking to try to get yet another win in this building, as another jump ball here on the other side of the floor will remain here with Northampton. Brookdale's on the floor with Njai, Holloway, Poplowski, Griffith, and DeLonzo. As here's Njai with another steal. The quick pull-up inside off the glass is good.
And that was just a nice break there. All Brookdale a 3-on-1 advantage, and Njai just takes it herself, as you see on the backboard cam. Really nice look.
A nice finish for Njai off the glass. Here's Peterson now on the other end of the floor. Can't get the jumper to fall. Griffith fighting for the rebound, and now another jump ball is called. Possession arrow points Brookdale's way.
And keep in mind, Tim, that Northampton's only points came on those 2 free throws. Yeah. They're yet to register a field goal made in this game.
Well, it certainly has not been pretty, but we expected a little bit better performance out of Northampton, to say the least, early on in this first quarter. Poplowski too strong inside on the rebound taken by Peterson. Northampton is still playing with their starting 5. They have not subbed any of their players out so far in this first half. Holloway tips it out of bounds. Shot clock will be at 15 now for the Spartans. I mentioned 2 injured starters here for the Northampton Spartans. One of them, Jade Vivanio, a very talented player for the Spartans, is out. Was one of their starters in the starting rotation. She's gone for the year. They're also looking, as the shot clock winds down there for Northampton, I'm not sure they expected it was not reset after that inbounds pass. They're also, so far, have not been able to put in Mackenzie Newhart, who's a player who's been nursing a shoulder injury the last couple of weeks. She's one of the better players. We have not seen her yet on the floor this evening, so it's been a struggle. And then you factor that in with the fact that it's all freshmen on the floor, Brookdale for Northampton, Brian, and it's just been an all-around tough season.
Yeah, and you bring up Newhart. We heard she might only be used in an emergency situation here in this game. But you talk about it. I mean, it's all freshmen on the roster. It's tough when that's the case in its own right. But then when you're without a couple of your key players to begin with, they're going up against a tough team like Brookdale's playing good basketball to start the season. It really makes things tough.
Foul, by the way, that last time was on Breanna Peterson. That was her first personal foul, and the first on Northampton here in the second quarter, as DeLonzo was able to chip in a couple of points from the line. So now a 35-2 lead for Brookdale. Another turnover there as Holloway comes away with it. Brookdale's got some numbers. Here's DeLonzo laying it in at the other end. Another replay. Watch this nice pass, and then, of course, the finish. A little bit of a reverse layup there for DeLonzo. Laying it in. 37-2 now, Jersey Blues lead. Robinson from the corner, no. Another rebound for DeLonzo, up ahead to Holloway. And Alexis Holloway will finish with the right hand.
And you have to love how Brookdale has passed the ball in transition, finding the open players. They're getting out easy, and Northampton's had no answers getting back defensively.
Mendez now pulls up her dribble now to Miller, who's been looking for that top of the key three to go all afternoon and hasn't quite happened. A foul here on the floor against Griffith. That'll be the first on Griffith and the first on the Jersey Blues in the second quarter. Danielle remains on the floor. Catch and shoot three for Webster is off the mark, and now here come the Jersey Blues the other way. Njai one-on-one with Webster. The hole draws contact and gets the basket to go and one.
You know, we talked about Njai a couple of possessions ago. She reminds me, I want to see if you agree with this, of a Brookdale player who was on this team a couple of years ago, and Hermione Bankel. I think kind of a similar skill set, the things they're able to do offensively, defensively, getting to the basket.
Very similar form in the way that she dribbles and the way that she is able to move the ball around. So I agree with you, Brian. Very nice assessment there. Brookdale now leads by 40 as we have four different Jersey Blues players getting ready to check into the next buzzer. Coach Brunson going to clear the benches as here's DeLonzo once again ahead of the field and drawing contact but laying it in anyway for another 2 points. Webster now will try a three from the other end from the left arc. That doesn't fall. Griffith the rebound, and Brookdale once again will clear out. Nice find to Holloway, who was open underneath the basket, and she puts it in. DeLonzo to Holloway. So DeLonzo's got another assist on the evening. Just nobody back there on defense for Northampton, just struggling to get back down on the opposite end of the floor.
Yeah, just a nice catch and quick pass to the open player underneath. And Brookdale, I mean, it's just domination so far.
Njai again with another two. 48-2 here in this first half.
I mean, it almost brings back memories of a game we did a couple of years ago against Philadelphia.
Yeah, I believe that was 113-13, I think, something like that, Brian.
Something right around there, yeah.
Speaking of Philadelphia, as here's another interception, Njai will get to that in just a second. Ahead of the field, she will lay it in for two. Speaking of Philadelphia, one of the games that Brookdale was originally going to play, in fact, it was supposed to be their home opener against the Colonials, was canceled 2 weeks ago because of the snowstorms here in New Jersey. They will play here in a doubleheader on December the 15th, and that's a much improved Philadelphia team from a couple of years ago. So we expect that to be a very good matchup for both the women and the men's teams, as Coach Brunson will take a timeout here with 3:38 remaining here in the second quarter, most likely just to sub in a bunch of players that are waiting to go in. So it'll be a 30-second timeout, and we'll keep it here. But yeah, when you look at that, that's a much improved Philadelphia team. Middlesex also a team as well that we didn't even mention. Brookdale actually took down earlier in the season, a couple of weeks ago on the road. They come off of winning 2 straight conference games at Middlesex on November 20th, at Bergen on Tuesday, and they're able to handle both those games very well. So this is a team that, despite their struggles last year and the inconsistency issues that they had on that side of the ball, seem to be much improved. And even though they're all freshmen for the most part, with the exception of players like Rachel Rouse, you have a pretty good lineup if you're Coach Brunson.
Yeah, it definitely looks like an improved team, a deeper team, you know, more weapons at Rich Brunson's disposal to start this season. I mean, you have to be very impressed, not just looking at this game because you're going against obviously a team that's in transitions yet to win a game, but when you go on the road and against some tough competition, are able to win those kind of games against Bergen and Middlesex, like you mentioned, that gives you confidence in the early part of the year that you really can do something good.
And in addition to the players that they have 9 players on their roster. They have even more players, Brian, that are coming in the second half of the year because some of them weren't eligible to start the first half of the year. There's even more coming. So in addition to the players that you already have, so Coach Brunson feels very good about this season. Probably one of the best teams that he's had all together in his tenure as head coach.
Yeah, and he certainly has to love just about everything he's seen in this first half. Just look at the scoreboard.
So Brookdale did sub out Holloway, DeLonzo, Danielle Griffith, along with Njai are on the bench for Brookdale. Dion Griffith, the sister of Danielle, along with Camry Brown, Poplowski, Catanzaro, and Rouse are on the floor for the Jersey Blues. Northampton also did make a substitution on that last timeout. We'll get to that in a second, as here's Griffith giving it off to Rouse, who lays it in. On the floor now for Northampton, it's Miller, Mendez, a new player in the game, Montana Casaro, as we see that nice give and go from Griffith to Rouse. Peterson and Robinson on the floor, the other two for the Spartans.
Yeah, Northampton, the turnover fest just continues. I mean, their passes have just not been on the mark. I mean, it seems like very few times they've even been able to get a shot opportunity because they're turning the ball over.
Brookdale obviously taking their time in his possession. They're really in no hurry here with a 50-point lead. Now here comes Robinson, losing it out of bounds, was trying to go to the hole. Robinson is the only player that's got points, I believe, for Northampton in this game, and they both came from the foul line.
Still no field goals made for Northampton. You almost root for them to make some kind of shot, just get something going, but it has not happened.
Nice interception by Casaro, and she throws it away. Now back to Camry Brown. Another turnover here by Miller. And now here's Montana Casaro going to the hole and laying it in. There's your first field goal of the first half for Northampton. And it comes from Montana Casaro, as you see here, coming right at the bucket, laying it in with the right hand.
And that finally gives the Northampton bench something to clap about as they get on the board in the field goal department.
So minute 45 left here in the first half. Brookdale obviously way in command, as Alexis Holloway is now going to check in for Camry Brown. We remind you at 7 o'clock approximately, the Brookdale men will take the floor. They'll take on Northampton tonight. This is our first full doubleheader here on BTV in the Collins Arena this season. We'll be with you all the way until the end of the year, and then, of course, include the Region 19 tournament, which will be held here in the Collins Arena. It was not here last year, but it will be held here, both the women's and the men's. The winner of each tournament has an automatic national berth in the NJCAA National Tournament for Division III basketball. Robinson, a floater. That doesn't go. She tried to get her own rebound, but it's taken away by Griffith. And now here's Rouse ahead of the defense, going to the hole and laying it in, but not able to get the bucket to go. Poplowski there, though, is there for the putback.
Yeah, nobody accounted for Poplowski there in transition, able to come down with the rebound and put another two on the board.
Ball goes out of bounds off the foot of one of the Jersey Blues down low. Under a minute left to go here in the first half. Miller will get the inbound. Robinson lines up for a three. Back iron, no good. Weak side rebound to Casaro. Now here's Peterson inside, lost the ball, and it's taken away by the Jersey Blues. Holloway has to go and get the basketball. Now takes it herself to the hole, not able to get the layup. Shot clock resets. There's about a 3 or 4 difference between the shot clock and the game clock. It doesn't matter as Brookdale turns it over here. Rouse with a steal, and now a foul in the backcourt. Shot clock will be turned off, as we have 25 seconds approximately left here in the first half. Northampton will most likely try to hold for this final possession if they can. Here's Mendez, fouled inside, and now she will go to the foul line for 2 shots. Only the second time that Northampton has gone to the line in this game.
Yeah, I think that's something you have to credit Brookdale for. They've been able to keep the foul number down, not allowed Northampton to get to the free throw line to get free points.
So here's Casaro, who now has got 3 points on the evening. She got the first field goal of the game for the Northampton Spartans just a moment ago. Montana Casaro, the 5'9" freshman. 2 for 2 from the line. 54-6. I don't think Brookdale will take a shot here. Maybe they will. We'll see. Holloway, a long jumper, or like a floater to end the first half, doesn't fall. And that will be the final score at the end of one half of play, 54-6. Brookdale certainly not able to, or I should say not really having too much problems handling Northampton, as they've just been really dominant early on in the first half. Camry Brown, Rachel Rouse, to name just a few, really been playing very well. And on the other end for Northampton, we talked about this at the end of the first half, or at the end of the first quarter, I should say, Brian, really just struggling to get some consistency going. They've just had no real consistency on both sides of the basketball. They've turned the ball over a lot, and they look lost, honestly, on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, the turnovers are really a problem. I mean, I think that's the thing for them in the locker room at halftime. They have to emphasize we have to be crisper with our passes just to give ourselves a chance at getting a shot and maybe finding a way to get some points on the board, get this deficit down. For Brookdale, there really isn't too much you have to correct. I mean, they've been dominant. They've taken the ball away. They've made their shots, both long range and short range, and are off to an enormous lead.
So again, Brookdale still has a very great chance. It's long. They are 5-0. They're looking to improve to 6-0 on this season. So we'll take a break here on Brookdale TV. When we come back, we'll have the second half of action live here from the Collins Arena tonight on BTV.
It kind of gives them an idea of all the variety of things that you can do out there in the business world. We kind of give them a direction and a path on which they can take to be successful and profitable and produce and give to the economy as a whole. It's my first time at the event, and there's a lot of students here, and I'm getting a lot of questions, so I really think it's a good idea, and they're interested.
I'm a junior, my major is communications and minor in business. This whole fair is beneficial to anybody who wants to graduate and succeed in life. I want to pursue my career, because being here and like talking to my professors, I feel like I owe it to my professors to at least go out and do good, because they take their time to teach you, and the school takes their time to put up these fairs. So why not actually like take the information you learn and use it, and come back one day and say, hey, I did this.
I'll get him in. So my name is Joe Walsh. I'm the Assistant Director of Off-Campus Programs for Rutgers University, and I'm here today representing the Rutgers-Brookdale Partnership. We're very glad to be here. Rutgers has been partnered with Brookdale since 1998. One of the hardest things we've had in terms of recruiting is that a large number of Brookdale students still don't know we're here. So this is a way to be visible out in front of students, just in their daily lives without being too intrusive. And we understand not everyone's going to come to Rutgers University, but since we have a special partnership with Brookdale, we want to be wherever Brookdale students are, let them know that we wanted them to think of themselves as Rutgers students now, and to make the transition and the transfer as seamless as possible.
A lot of times we focus our energy with the academic departments on selling Brookdale to incoming students, and then we have students here who might be questioning their degree choices. This is a way for current Brookdale students to learn more about what's offered at Brookdale, what they could do with a specific program of study, and just a little bit more information about what's happening here.
Well, that's a wrap. It sounds like the major fair was a major success. To learn more about what Brookdale has to offer, visit our website at brookdalecc.edu. I'm Sophia Parola. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to the nursing pinning ceremony for the fall 2015 graduating class. To be standing here right now speaking to all of you is such an honor and something I never thought would happen. Being diagnosed with cancer 2 days before my second to last semester started. But I thought like a nurse and went through the process, and now here I am, giving the welcoming speech at our pinning ceremony.
56 graduates of the Brookdale Nursing Program were officially recognized for their achievements on January 4th during an honorary pinning ceremony held in the Collins Arena. The future nurses came together in front of a crowd of friends and family to place official Brookdale nursing pins on their fellow graduates, a tradition that has been carried by each graduating class since the Brookdale Nursing Program was established in 1971. The Brookdale pin has become a symbol of compassion, knowledge, and high-quality care to patients across the state and across the nation.
Graduate nurses, congratulations. What a journey it's been for you. And this journey is going to continue, but today we are celebrating just how far you've come.
Hello, we are here today in Wall Township, home to Brookdale's new 37,000 square foot classroom building, where college officials, dignitaries, and current Brookdale nursing students gather for the official ribbon cutting ceremony.
This is the day that we've been waiting for 17 years. This is the grand opening that we have planned for, and so today is just so super magnificent.
Wall campus actually has been here for a long time. It's been back since about 2001. The campus was originally built here, but we have this beautiful, gorgeous new building behind me, this 37,000 square foot. It is a state-of-the-art facility where we have increased the number of access to laboratories for our STEM education, also for healthcare education.
With Brookdale and these modern campuses and this edifice of 37,000 square feet, it is really a big, big plus to move Monmouth County along further on the 21st century.
Wall is offering simulation. It's going to be a lot more in depth and I think in detail, so I think it would be better for us as students. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a great program. And again, I'm excited just to be at the Wall campus.
Brookdale at Wall provides a full array of Brookdale services and course offerings, plus access to baccalaureate and master degree courses through our partner, New Jersey City University. For more information, please visit us at brookdalecc.edu.
Like a lot of people, I thought community college was a backup option, a discount education. But now, I can't imagine starting anywhere else. Brookdale challenged me. I had the tools and the faculty I needed to grow, both as a student and an engineer. Today, I'm transferring to a prestigious university and finishing a fellowship at NASA. I'm Nick Sikowski, and I came to Brookdale to save money on college. I never imagined it would be the smartest move I ever made.
When I grow up, I want to be a chef and own my own restaurant, so people from all over the world can come and try my food.
When I grow up, I want to create characters that can fly.
When I grow up, I want to create music that makes people want to stand up and dance.
We all travel different paths with one goal in mind: success. No matter what you want to be or where you want to go, Brookdale Community College can put you on the right path.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Brookdale Community College. College redefined, success reimagined. Take your next step at brookdalecc.edu.
With paper student education plans, advisors sit down with students, discuss what courses to take, when they'll transfer to a four-year institution or graduate, and map out a course plan that aligns with their program. But as time goes on, schedules move around. The planning shifts. Students want to take a class with a certain professor. The course catalog changes, and a class that would have been an elective requirement may no longer be offered. Moving this planning online allows the student and the advisor to be on the same page with course information, scheduling, and the student's educational goals. They can see a timeline of courses and easily make changes as needed. Colleague Student Planning is an online tool that makes the academic program planning process easier for your students and their advisors by allowing course planning, course registration, and tracking of progress toward academic program completion, all in real time.
Well, the semester's coming to an end, and students are either cramming for finals or stressing about what their next step is. But if you come across the Brookdale Bank Year Library, you'll find people who are willing to help you de-stress, relax, and clear your worried mind. Oh, and did I mention that these people were therapy dogs? Yeah, let's go check it out.
All right, I got it.
My name's Tayo, and I'm here to pet some dogs and be not stressed. Dogs just have this peaceful aura. Petting them just calms me instantly.
My name is Michelle Fields, and we're here with all the therapy dogs to help the students de-stress.
Since she was 6 months old, she just had a docile nature, and she loved people, and she especially loved kids, and she would let kids do anything to her. So we knew that she would be a great therapy dog. So I had the dream of taking her into the hospital and helping out sick kids, going to visit people, and so it took about 6 months of training, and she passed all her tests. And now we go regularly to Monmouth Medical. We visit the pediatric ward and the cardiac ward, and we were invited to come here today.
I think it's just a great way to get your hands on an animal and feel their love and energy, and they bring a smile to everyone's face, and they keep everyone calm. Just to see the student's face when they see him, it brings so much joy to my heart and his, and he loves helping everyone.
I just like dogs. They make me happy.
So how do you think this is helping you guys de-stress from the academic semester?
Nice to take a break from everything and just get to hang out with somebody that just, all he does is want to make people happy.
It's a good distraction, and it is very relaxing to just be with a companion who just wants to be pet and have attention and love and give that back.
My name is Brittany Harrison, and this is my dog, my therapy dog Charlie, and we're here helping students de-stress. Charlie loves everyone, and he usually always brings a smile to everyone's face.
Well, that's all the time we have here today, because I'm going to be spending the rest of my day petting some pups. To learn more about events at Brookdale, visit our website at brookdalecc.edu. I'm Sophia Perola with Brookdale Television. Thanks for watching.
Come be a part of the Brookdale community, where students from all countries and backgrounds are accepted.
Jesteście tutaj mile widziani.
You are welcome here.
Você é enviado aqui e obrigado por fazer parte de nossa comunidade.
You are welcome here.
Você é bem-vindo aqui. Obrigada por fazer parte da Brookdale.
You are welcome here.
Jij is welkom hier en dankie dat je deel is van Brookdale.
You are welcome here.
از صمیم قلب همگی خوش آمدید.
You are welcome here.
Brookdale è davvero accogliente.
You are welcome here.
You are welcome here.
Brookdale 是个很好的地方，这里的老师还有 tutor 都非常友善。tutor 在帮助我学习很多的方面。
You are welcome here.
You are welcome here.
You are welcome here.
我哋好歡迎你過嚟我哋嘅學校讀書。
You are welcome here.
Bienvenido a Brookdale. Ven a Brookdale. Brookdale 오신 걸 환영합니다.
You are welcome here.
You are very welcome here.
Bienvenue à Brookdale. Nous vous accueillons avec plaisir dans notre communauté.
You are welcome here.
You are welcome here.
नमस्ते. Brookdale में आपका स्वागत है.
You are welcome here. Come, be a part of Brookdale.
Every journey we take in this life starts with a single step. My journey at Brookdale started with that step.
We are all starting a new adventure. Thank you for helping me get my start at Brookdale.
Teaching is all about encouraging a passion.
We are from many countries. We have many things in common to live our American dream.
I believe that education is empowering.
Brookdale is number one. We will always be number one.
Brookdale is the best community college.
And welcome back inside the Robert J. Collins Arena. Getting ready to start the second half. Tim Kettlefam alongside Brian Goudsworth. 54-6. Brookdale leads over Northampton. Really has been a routing performance of the Jersey Blues so far. Now let's head down to the action. So getting things started, as I mentioned, 54-6. First half stats for you, as Brookdale has just had a bunch of players that have chipped in. Rachel Rouse already has 10 points. Veronica Enjai has got 11. Camry Brown has 7, whereas Jessica Poplowski has got 6 points. And they have just really all around played very well. As another turnover there for Northampton, or excuse me, another turnover there for Brookdale. Northampton will get the ball back.
And we'll see, what adjustments were made if they're able to get any kind of momentum. It would be nice for them to have fewer turnovers this half and get some shots, maybe get some to go down so they can eat into this huge lead so far.
Camry Brown not able to get the 2 to go. She was not able to get the layup and not able to get her own rebound. So a break there for Northampton. And once again, Coach Brunson will clear the benches here. Not even a minute into the third quarter, as Danielle Griffith, Camry Brown, Veronica Enjai, and Rachel Rouse leave. In for them, and on the floor now are Jessica Poplowski, Dion Griffith, Alexis Holloway, Haley Delonzo, and then, of course, along with Anna Catanzaro. Took me a while to figure out who was on the floor. Here's Griffith. Tried to feed it inside to Catanzaro, and Catanzaro couldn't handle the pass. Catanzaro, one of the taller players on the roster. She, along with Jessica Poplowski, are over 6 foot. Catanzaro at 6 feet exactly. Poplowski at 6'2".
Yeah, and that's an added dimension of this team as well, something that they lacked really the last number of years. All of Rich Brunson's tenure as the head coach, he kind of always went with small lineups because he didn't have a lot of size on the team. Now, as you mentioned, with 2 6-footers, that's an advantage his team has.
Long 3 there, top of the key by Webster, didn't fall. And now here comes Brookdale the other way. Up ahead to Delonzo, and Delonzo couldn't get the layup to go. That's now the second blown layup that Brookdale has had to start this quarter. Not that it really matters. They have a huge lead.
And they've also had a couple of turnovers, so not at their sharpest.
Another turnover here. Holloway with a breakaway. And she will lay it in with the right hand. Alexis Holloway, the 5'4" freshman, with the nice layup. Now 56-6, a 50-point lead for the Jersey Blues. Webster picked up her dribble, now gets it over to Montana Casaro, who actually led the Northampton Spartans in the first half with 4 points. Peterson along the baseline lost it and scooped up by Dion Griffith. Danielle and Dion Griffith, 2 of the sisters from Howell, New Jersey, that are on the roster this year for Coach Brunson. Now here's Delonzo being guarded by Miller. Catanzaro had her shot blocked, but she was able to get her own rebound. Shot clock did not reset. It's down to 12. Poplowski from the foul line, and she drains it.
Yeah, nice versatility shown out there by Poplowski. Not a player who can only score from just underneath the basket. That time, foul line extended.
Another turnover here. Here comes Holloway looking for another layup, and she gets it. Another timeout now is going to be taken by Northampton, as head coach Alyssa Bonham going to try to, if she can, reset things. As you see this another almost identical to the last layup that Holloway had a few moments ago. It's now a 60-6 lead for the Jersey Blues. Haley Delonzo, I mentioned She comes over from the women's soccer team for the Jersey Blues. She had 27 points, 14 rebounds when Brookdale played Bergen on Tuesday. They won that game 78-46. Camry Brown had 15 points. The team played very good defense in that game. We're seeing that this afternoon here in the Collins Arena. And in addition to that, I talked about this in the first half, Brian. Coming into tonight's matchup, Brookdale has won 2 straight conference games on the road. They took down Bergen on Tuesday, and then they beat Middlesex, a team that historically has had a very good overall program. They beat them both on the road. They're undefeated this year. They're obviously most likely going to get their 6th win tonight. They're just looking really strong. They're starting to roll into the season really strongly.
Yeah, and you mentioned all those games coming on the road, that this is the first time they played at home all season. We talked earlier that the Philadelphia matchup was originally scheduled to be the home opener, but of course snow got in the way of those plans. So Brookdale's yet to play a game at home 6 games in, and they're making the most of their first one here at the Collins Arena.
Delonzo with another 2. Yeah, speaking about that Philadelphia game, we mentioned that also in the first half. Philly will come in here to play on December 15th. It'll be a 12-2 game. That'll be a Saturday. We'll have both of those games, men's and women's matchups against the Colonials here on BTV. And that's a much improved Philadelphia Colonials team. On the men's side, they've always been pretty strong, but on the women, they are looking a little sharper than last year. The turnover here is a double dribble is called on Jada Webster. And Coach Brunson once again will clear the bench. Camry Brown, Rachel Rouse, Veronica Njai, and Danielle Griffith will check in. Poplowski, Catanzaro, Dion Griffith, along with Alexis Holloway, will come out of the game for the Jersey Blues.
And in a game like this, it really gives you the opportunity to use your full roster and got to look at some players that you otherwise might not see in the game.
Danielle Griffith hit the side of the backboard on that last attempt, and now we have a foul in the backcourt, this time on Camry Brown. That'll be the second on Brown and the first in the Jersey Blues here in the third quarter. 2-3 zone once again for the Jersey Blues. So far, that has really been the only defensive set they've had to use because Northampton has had difficulty just trying to get open looks. There's another interception there. Here's Delonzo going coast to coast. Delonzo throws it up there out of bounds, last touch by Northampton. So Njai will inbound with 25 on the shot clock. Gets it into Brown. Brown, right wing 3. Got it.
Man, just a nice set there running out of bounds, finding a wide open Brown who just decided to spot up behind the arc. No Northampton defender was in the vicinity, and she drains it.
Brown now has got double digits in this game. She's got 10 points so far. Another 3 now from the corner, this time by Webster. Doesn't fall, but yet another foul underneath the basket on Brookdale. This will be their second team foul. And Brian, if there's anything that you can really criticize the Jersey Blues in this game, it has been fouling. They've had some silly fouls, I guess you could call them, at different times during the ball game. That really hasn't necessarily affected the game, but that's something that, if this game were closer, could have affected them much more.
Yeah, they picked up their second here of this second half, and it's always something you want to limit as much as possible, especially, like you said, if the game were in much closer range.
Foul was on Delonzo, and now another foul here as falling down to the court hard was Ashley Robinson. And now that's Delonzo's second foul. So that's 3 straight team fouls for the Jersey Blues here in the third quarter. Remember, you get to 5 team fouls and the other team shoots free throws for the rest of the quarter as you are put in the double bonus. Miller with nowhere to go with the basketball. Now dumps it over to Webster. Left arc 3, short. Rebound Delonzo. Now here's Rouse, who goes right at Webster, and she'll draw the foul. So Rachel Rouse, the 5'6" sophomore from Neptune, New Jersey, will go to the foul line. Fouls on Jada Webster, as I mentioned. That's her second personal. And we talked about Rouse. She played on the women's team during the 2016 season. She was off last year. She's not able to hit the first of a two-shot foul, but she was off last year. She averages just over 20 points a game coming into this matchup tonight. And she's a really talented player. She's small. She's not very large as far as height is concerned. She's only 5'6", but she's very quick. She can play very well on both offense and defense.
Yeah, and I brought it up earlier that 2 years ago she was much more of a role player. You know, a player would average somewhere between 5 and 7 points a game, but now she's the number one scoring option on this team, as you mentioned, averaging over 20 a game. And going forward, she's going to be a player that Brookdale will look to score the bulk of the points.
Shot clock winding down here for Northampton. It's tipped away and taken away by Camry Brown. Bounce pass to Rouse, who lays it in once again with the right hand.
You know, one thing I think it's worth mentioning, too, is this team has to somehow replace the production they got the last 2 years from Chikesha Andrews, who was, you know, one of the most prolific scorers in the history of this program. That's not easy to do.
Engine not able to get the layup, but she gets her own rebound. Now goes baseline and goes back at the hole and has her shot blocked away by Peterson. Yeah, the talent turnover, Brian, was something that Brookdale was concerned about, at least on the women's side, both sides, men's and women's, but particularly on the women's side, because you mentioned Chikesha Andrews. You also talked about Hermione Bankel. While she wasn't on the season last year, she was there 2 seasons ago, and Brookdale looked like last year, with the exception of Chikesha Andrews, they really couldn't quite find someone to replace her with. And now, with the additions of Veronica Enjai, the 2 Griffith sisters, Camry Brown coming back, Rachel Rouse, Brookdale's got a pretty full arsenal of players on both sides of the floor.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Last year, when you watched the team play offensively, it almost was a lot of times everyone else staying out of the way and just letting Andrews hoist up threes. And
she was making them.
Oh, she did it extremely well, but there wasn't a lot of other options outside of that. And now, like you mentioned, there's definitely more.
Andrews has graduated and now continues to play basketball, has gone on to bigger and better things. As here's Camry Brown having her shot blocked away again. That's the second straight block for Breanna Peterson. Shot clock does not reset here for the Jersey Blues. They're going to have to get a shot off. It's down to 5, and a foul here bails out the Blues, as Webster will be charged with, I believe, her second personal. See that block there from Northampton. It's actually the third, pardon me, on Webster. And now the second on Northampton here in the third quarter. Griffith fouled inside. Both Dion and Danielle are on the floor, the 2 Griffith sisters. I think that's the first time they've been on the floor this evening together. Fresh 30 for Brookdale. Rouse, it's a 2 from the left arc. Short. Rebound is loose. And finally scooped up, and with an exclamation point was Webster, ripping that ball away. Rouse at the other end, not able to get the layup, but gets her own rebound. The quick jumper for Rachel Rouse, this time no good. Brown, though, contributes with another offensive rebound, and she gets another 2 points. 70-6. You know, a stat that we were going to mention early on is Camry Brown is going to pick up another personal here. That's now the 4th on the Jersey Blues here in the third. But a stat that I was going to mention, assuming that this game was going to be a little closer, was Brookdale averages 47 points given up on defense a game so far this season. Well, they're well below their average so far in this game. Of course, I think this is a stat sheet and certainly a game that you can probably throw out, as we have an injured player, I believe, on the other end of the floor. That's Montana Casaro. I don't know if she got her hand twisted or she got hit. She's having a little bit of difficulty breathing. She's taking some heavy breaths, so maybe she got hit in the stomach. I didn't see really what happened. It's a injury timeout. She is okay. She's being looked at now by Pete Fusco, who's the athletic trainer for the Jersey Blues. I think she's just more frustrated with how this game has been going than anything else, but She does appear to be all right. She may have lost a contact, actually. She's trying to put something back in her eye. I don't know if she got poked in the eye or something. We'll check on that. There's Alyssa Bonham in the gray sweatshirt. It's been a tough evening for her team.
And you were mentioning a moment ago the defensive prowess of Brookdale, that they only average giving up about 47 points to opponents. That's something, whether it's the women's team, the men's team, if you're going to play for this Brookdale program, you have to be committed on the defensive end.
Brown gets the nice lucky roll to go, and it's another 2 points for Camry Brown. Now a 72-6 lead for the Jersey Blues. And now Njai will try to make it 74 as she breaks away and will lay it in with the right hand. Veronica Njai has been pretty spectacular in this game. Again, we mentioned in the first half, very highly regarded recruit as Northampton gets on the board there. That was Kelsey Miller able to contribute with a nice jumper in the paint. It's the first points that Northampton has had so far in the second half. Tie up here will go to Northampton. But watch the shot here by Miller, just kind of throwing it up there and able to get the bucket to go in the paint. It's really been tough for the Spartans because we were talking about this at the end of the first half, Brian. They just look confused sometimes on offense. They don't really have a set play that they really feel like they can run. Brookdale's defense has been able to shut down everything pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's a product more than anything else of having only freshmen. There isn't that sophomore leader who was a part of this team last year to go to, and as a result, it's a lot of disorganization.
Webster thought about a three, now gets it back out to Miller. Shot clock is down to 4 here for Northampton. Peterson inside, doesn't get the layup to go. She may have been fouled from behind, but no call. Now up ahead to Rouse, and Rouse doesn't hit the layup. Njai comes in there with the rebound. And Njai this time is fouled along the perimeter by Mendez. It's the second on Mendez, the fourth on the team. 15 seconds left here in the third. Brown wide open, right arc three. Back iron no good. Rebound Griffith. Griffith dumps it over to her sister Danielle, and she puts it in.
There's that sister connection on display. Maybe the first time we've seen one pass to the other for a bucket.
Miller hoists up a long three at the buzzer. It doesn't fall, and it's a 76-8 lead now for the Jersey Blues at the end of the third quarter. Certainly has been a struggle for the Northampton Spartans, but we remind you that coming up after this game at approximately 7 o'clock, Brian and I will be back to call the men's basketball game. You can kind of see them in some of our shots lining up on the opposite end of the stadium, getting ready to go out and play the men's basketball team here at Brookdale. 4-3 Northampton comes into this matchup. Jersey Blues 3-1, and that should be a very interesting game. Northampton has a very large bench. They have a lot of talented players. Brendan McCarthy in his 5th season as head coach there, looking to try to talk about his team and take their team to the next level. They have a very tough challenge tonight, though, against the Jersey Blues, and we'll see that on display at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's always fun when those two teams go head-to-head, and you think back to last year, it was the matchup that ended Northampton's season in the semifinal of the Region 19, a game that was a nail-biter. Brookdale prevailed by a late bucket, winning by 2 points, so that was a great game. Northampton certainly wants to get a small measure of revenge in their first meeting since, but it's always fun when those two meet up.
That game will be coming up at approximately 7 o'clock here on BTV, so stay tuned for that. So we get ready to start the fourth and final quarter here. It'll be Dion Griffith, Alexis Holloway, as we have a foul here right away. It's actually going to be a backcourt violation of the Jersey Blues and Alexis Holloway. But it's Holloway, Dion Griffith, Haley DeLonzo, Jessica Poplowski, and Anna Catanzaro on the floor for the Jersey Blues to start the fourth. For Northampton, it's the starting five that they have had in for the majority of this game. with Webster, Mendez, Peterson, Miller, and Robinson. Here's Webster, tried to dump it over to Miller, and she throws it away out of bounds. A lot of turnovers in this game from Northampton.
Yeah, I don't know that we have the exact number in front of us, but I would say it's in the 20s, if not higher, and certainly increasing.
Feed inside to Poplawski, and Poplawski is able to finish. A nice assist there from Griffith. Long three there from the right arc as an air ball out of bounds for Ashley Robinson. And this is a team, Brian, again, let's keep this in perspective here. This is a team that played Lucerne Community College on Tuesday. Lucerne actually is in the Region 19 Conference, a team that we don't talk about too many times because Brookdale usually does not play them. But they did put 43 points up in that game in a 75-43 loss. So this is a team that can put points on the board. They just have struggled, as Poplawski gets another 2, they just have struggled to get anything going on offense. It's really just been, I think, a surprise, I think even in Northampton, how poorly they've been just shooting the basketball on offense. Nothing falling.
Yeah, nothing falling, turnovers galore, and I mean, Brookdale's really been able to take full advantage. Certainly, if you're Northampton, you would right now sign up for about 40 points. The only problem is you'd still be down by 40. So it's really been a tough night.
Catanzaro able to track down the weak side rebound. Delonzo in the paint. Nowhere to go. Now back out to Poplawski. Another jumper is good. 2 straight jumpers for Jessica Poplawski. And Brookdale now continues to increase their lead 82-8.
Yeah, she's really showed a nice all-around game. Yeah. The ability to shoot the jumper from about 10 feet away, has a nice touch from that range.
And that's been an area that Brookdale has been looking to try to improve on. In the low block, they really have struggled to find a player that's athletic enough to play that position the last couple of seasons. And I think they may have found it this year with Poplawski.
Yeah, we talked about the lack of size in years past, but also, we talked about Andrews as well, and when she was the leading scorer, it was really much more of a three-point shooting team led by Andrews. This kind of team, and we're seeing it here in this game, they're not shooting a lot of long-range jumpers. They're much more attack, get to the basket, and get as many easy baskets as possible.
Well, maybe with the exception of Rachel Rouse, Brian, to kind of piggyback on your point, they really don't have too many known outside shooters. Camry Brown, we know, can shoot from around the perimeter, but I think that's partially why we're seeing a lot of inside shots, but they've used that to their advantage almost as a strategy so far from what we've seen in this early portion of the season. As Holloway turns it over there with another traveling call. Substitution here as Montana Casaro will come in. I was just going to mention her. She appears to be all right. I'm not quite sure exactly what she had injured or what was bothering her, but she checks into the game. She's fine. She comes in for Ashley Robinson, who takes a seat on the bench. As another turnover there for the Spartans. Up ahead, Delonzo able to lay it in.
And Brookdale has had their way all night long in transition. They've just dominated Northampton in that category.
And Brookdale has now eclipsed the total amount of points that they have scored in a single game this season. The highest amount of points that they had scored so far was when they played Borough of Manhattan Community College on November the 8th. They won that game 81-40. Well, now they lead 86-8. It's the highest amount of points that we have seen in a ball game so far for the Jersey Blues this season. Don't know if every single game will be this high scoring, but certainly a very impressive stat. As the Jersey Blues are preparing for a couple of games on the road. Of course, they have Northampton here tonight. Then they have Nassau Community College, which will be December the 1st on Saturday. They have Atlantic Cape Community College on on Tuesday, December 4th. That'll be 2 straight road games for the Jersey Blues before they come back here at home on December the 6th to play Rowan College at Gloucester County. And that, Brian, will be a tough game. We'll have that game on BTV. That'll be a tough game for the Jersey Blues, as Rowan, on both sides of the ball, both men's and women's, their basketball programs the last several years have been just stellar.
Yes, that'll be a good challenge to look forward to. Remember, already a month of basketball has been played. This is the last game here in November, and it's been an undefeated month for the Jersey Blues. They don't want it to end.
Holloway on the breakaway will get another 2 points. As Northampton loses the ball out of bounds. That was Jada Webster again. So 5:34 remaining. You know, I was talking to Coach Brunson preseason, and a lot of things are still yet to be played out. They have many players that are on their roster that we know are coming but are not eligible, and thus we can't see play just yet until the second half of the year. So you have that, but with the exception of that, Coach Brunson felt very confident about how his team was going to look this season, and we've seen so far, as here's Webster taking too many steps as she had a breakaway at the other end of the field. Feels very confident about his team, looking to try to improve upon the results that they had last year. Remember, they went all the way to the Region 19 title game in women's basketball. They lost to Rowan College at Gloucester County 78-67. And with a lot of freshmen, he had a little bit of apprehension coming into the season, but I think from what he has seen so far, especially starting the fact that they started the year with 5 straight road games, certainly has helped them be able to kind of adjust and certainly get into the swing of things and come together as a team.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, getting a chance maybe the second semester of this season to add to this already talented group. I mean, that's something that he's had the last couple of years. Not a full team to start, and as a result, it's a team that gets stronger as the season goes once he can integrate the players who are playing soccer or other sports to come and contribute to his team.
Kelsey Miller there with that last 3 for Northampton, 88-11 now. A brief timeout, I believe, was called by Brookdale. It's a 30-second timeout, I think, just to sub a couple of players out. Coach Brunson there in the suit and tie, talking things over. Remember, he was a Rutgers Scarlet Knight from 1979 to 1983, former assistant coach to the men's basketball team, but still recruits for the men's team. In fact, he was just talking to me early on in the season. Jordan Little, a player that we know very well from last year, now plays at Morgan State. They were squaring off against Villanova earlier this season. Got a chance to see him play on television. He's part of their starting 5. He was one of Coach Brunson's recruits, so he's proud of him. And he still contributes recruiting on both sides, men's and women's. But as we've talked about probably about 4 or 5 times during this telecast, he's probably got what is looking to be his best overall roster of players that he's seen in his tenure, now in his 3rd season as head coach. Enjai not able to get the long 2 to go as we're under 5 minutes to play. Remember, coming up at approximately the top of the hour, Brookdale will play Northampton on the men's side. Both teams are here. They're warming up in the practice facility that the Jersey Blues have next to the Collins Arena, down the hall from where we are, as Miller couldn't handle the pass out of bounds. And we'll see those two square off at 7 o'clock. Enjai with a power drive inside, a little too strong with the jumper. Brown, though, will get the rebound and the shot clock resets. Rouse the 3 on the way. This one's too strong. Catanzaro inside the paint and is able to score the bucket.
And we've talked about Poplawski and the contribution that she's made, but as has Catanzaro from in close, getting offensive rebounds, showing the ability to post up down on the low block, so another versatile player.
Was tipped out of bounds there by Casaro. Montana Casaro has got 4 points in this game. She's actually been one of the bright spots for the Spartans. Bounce pass inside to a cutting Rouse, and she's fouled. She'll go to the line now for 2 shots. Here with 3:17 left in the ball game. So Rachel Rouse at the foul line. We talked about her. She's performed very well, as we would expect. As she makes both foul shots from the line. 92-11 now. Miller goes around the screen. Now here's Casaro inside, and she lays it in. So actually a nice offensive possession there, moving the ball around, setting a screen, and hitting the person open down low on the low block.
It only took until there were 3 minutes left in the game before they had easily their best offensive possession of the game. That was very nice.
Casaro's now got 6 points on the evening as Veronica Njai knocks down another 3, this time from the right arc. Long 2 is good off the glass there for Vernice Mendez.
It's probably the first time Northampton has scored on back-to-back possessions.
It is. Rouse double dribble. Look at this, off the glass and in there for Mendez. And as you mentioned, Brian, this is the first time in this game that Northampton has scored back-to-back buckets.
Comes a little too late.
Yeah, unfortunately. Casaro inside. She draws contact and is fouled.
Fouls on Brookdale, number 3, Danielle Griffith. Where's your second?
Danielle Griffith is going to be charged with the personal. That's her second, and the first in the Jersey Blues here in the 4th. Not that it really matters at this point. But at the foul line now, Montana Casaro gets another point. To her pretty impressive day, all things considered. 2 for 2 from the line for Casaro. That's 3 straight possessions now that Northampton has chipped in points when they've had the ball.
Yeah, this has easily been their best quarter of the game.
Rouse almost got away with a palming call and throws it away. Last touch, though, by Northampton, so it'll stay here with Brookdale. Njai will inbound. Here's Rouse, the floater, a little too strong, and Casaro the rebound. Brookdale has remained in a 2-3 zone defense all evening long, and that's been a rarity because usually Coach Brunson likes to play man-to-man, but they are in a zone defense as Miller another 3, no good. Webster the rebound, puts up, had it blocked away defiantly there by Danielle Griffith. Rouse can't handle the pass from Njai. As Brookdale once again will clear the bench with 1:21 left here in the game. Njai, Camry Brown, Danielle Griffith, and Rachel Rouse will come out of the game. Jessica Poplowski, the other Griffith sister, Dion Griffith, Alexis Holloway, and Haley Delonzo will check in. Remember, our sideline reporter Neil Villapiano will have an interview with Coach Brunson coming up at the end of the game. So we'll send it down to him to see what Coach Brunson has to say after what will be a very dominant win.
I think he'll have a smile on his face.
I would guess, yeah, I would hope so. But, you know, knowing coaches, even if they're up by 100 points, they're never happy. Coach Chuzak in particular.
I was just thinking the same thing.
We'll see Coach Chuzak in a second when he comes out and his team plays at 7 o'clock against Northampton. Haven't seen Chizak and company this entire game. Usually they come out and watch the women's game. I have not seen them, so they're playing being a little bit mysterious here, not coming out until the end of the game. Mendez trying to get it to Casaro. It's taken away by Catanzaro. And now up ahead, Delonzo lays it in once again. Brookdale now 3 away from getting to the 100-point mark. I don't believe they will get it with about 30 seconds left, but you never know.
Well, you'd think they'd hold the ball once they take over possession here.
And a whistle here, foul underneath the basket on Brookdale. So this will stop things momentarily. It will be a non-shooting foul. It's on Jessica Poplowski. That's her second. And now the shot clock is turned off for Northampton. So Northampton, unfortunately, will have their 6th straight loss this season. They will go 0-6. Brookdale will improve to a perfect 6-0 and remain undefeated this year. They take down Northampton in dominating fashion, 97-17. A very impressive showing, to say the least. For the Jersey Blues, they win their home opener of the season and take down Northampton in dominant fashion. Very, very impressive play for both teams, or for both sides. Of course, Northampton certainly didn't have the performance that they were looking for, but they certainly played hard all the way until the end. And then, of course, Brookdale just absolutely dominated for the majority of the first half. They led 54-6 at halftime, and they win this game 97-17. So Tim Kettlefamily alongside Brian Goudsworth here in the Collins Arena. And, you know, Brian, we've talked about a really old game. Not really much more to say, but just a real dominating performance of the Jersey Blues. They win 97-17 and now 6-0 on the season. And from what we've seen, they have a very complete roster.
No doubt about it. And I think what you take away from this game is, we talked enough about this matchup here in this game, but going forward, they need to play just the way they did in this game. That's be the aggressors on defense, take the ball away. They're averaging taking the ball away, I should say, over 20 times a game. So that's certainly an impressive number. And if they can click offensively like this, score season high in points, work the ball inside and out in transition, they'll be in good shape.
And then, of course, for Brookdale, I mentioned they're 6-0. They go on the road to play 2 straight road games before they come back here on December 6th to play Rowan College at Gloucester County. And, you know, we talked about Gloucester County. They are a tough team on both sides of the ball, men's and women's. So that'll be a tough challenge. But for Coach Brunson, I have to believe that starting out the season with 5 straight road games and then coming in here to play your first home game and still being undefeated, that's got to make him feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's a big confidence booster. Anytime you can go on the road against some tough competition and win in their buildings, a couple of those winning in convincing fashion, it gives you confidence going forward. Then you play your first game here in front of your home fans. In this one, you get a blowout as a result. You can only think good things going forward.
Of course, we'll have the men's game that'll be coming up at 7 o'clock. We're waiting for Neil Villapiano, who's going to be interviewing Coach Rich Brunson in just a second, so we'll send it down to him. But again, we'll have the men's game coming up at 7 o'clock in just a few minutes, and then we'll send it down to Neil. So that's going to do it for our broadcast for now. We'll see you at 7 o'clock when the men take the floor to take on Northampton. For now, let's go down to Neil Villapiano, who's standing by with head coach Rich Brunson.
Coach, first of all, congratulations on the victory today.
Thank you.
What was the biggest key going into this matchup that allowed your girls to have the success that you guys did today?
I think for the last week we've been practicing real hard, trying to get the concept of just staying focused. We know we got a good rebounding team, but like all coaches know, you got to make sure these guys respond to you when it comes crunch time. So I think we did a great job, not only rebounding, but pushing the ball. That was our key today.
Your team definitely did a great job today. Now, getting ready for your, a quick 2-game road trip, you don't have very much time off. What are going to be some of the keys going into that to get your girls ready to play those 2 crucial road games?
Hey, just staying healthy and staying on the path. And we know who's in front of us. We know the teams that are going to be tough for us, the Gloucester, Philadelphia, and teams like that. So we're just going to make sure we keep our eye on the prize, and if we do what we have to do, we'll be okay.
Absolutely. Now, my last question to you, Coach, is this. Just looking at so far, your team is off to a very fantastic start, 6-0. What has been the biggest key for your team's success so far early on this season?
Just buying into the system. And our system is simple. Everybody has to play their role. You have to make sure you rebound. You have to make sure you make the right pass. So if we continue to do that kind of stuff, we'll be okay. We'll be okay.
Well, your team is certainly much better than okay. Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. All right. Good job.
Back to you.